So, let's talk about artificial intelligence. Is it this incredible tool that's going to make us all smarter and more productive, or is it kind of a crutch that's actually making our brains a little bit lazy? The thing is, it's not a simple yes or no. The truth is this fascinating paradox, and we're going to dive right into it. I mean, let's just get straight to the point. Think about the AI tools you use, maybe even every single day. What if those very tools, the ones that promise to make our lives easier, are actually chipping away at our fundamental ability to think for ourselves? All right, so first up, let's look at the argument for AI. The big story we hear all the time is that it's this great leveler, this incredible technology that's just unlocking massive productivity gains for pretty much everyone. And look, this isn't just hype, there's real data here. A huge study from Stanford and MIT found that when they gave customer service agents a generative AI assistant, their productivity just shot up by an average of 14%. Now, in the business world, trust me, that is a massive leap. Okay, but here's where the story gets really interesting. That 14% boost, it wasn't spread out evenly at all. The newest, least experienced workers, their performance skyrocketed by 34%. But the top performers, the experts, they saw pretty much no benefit. Zero. So what's going on? Well, it's something called the leveling effect. What's happening is the AI is basically watching the best employees, learning all their secrets, their tricks, their hidden knowledge, and then it shares all of that with the new folks. The result is pretty wild. Someone who's only been on the job for 2 months can suddenly perform like a veteran with 6 months of experience. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so experience doesn't matter anymore? Whoa, not so fast. It's quite the opposite. An expert knows how to ask a much better question. You see, a junior person might ask something really vague and get a super generic answer back. But a senior pro, they provide context, details, and constraints, which leads to a response that's way more strategic and actually useful. Your expertise is what unlocks the real power of these tools. So if AI is making our newest workers so much better, where's the problem? Well, that brings us to the other side of this double-edged sword. Let's talk about the hidden cognitive cost. Is our growing reliance on AI actually making us, lazy thinkers? I think Ben Eubanks from Lighthouse Research just nails it with this quote. He points out that this isn't like using a calculator to do math faster. AI isn't just making a task easier, it's fundamentally changing the way our brains approach the task in the first place. And there's a name for this. It's called cognitive atrophy. See, our brains are hardwired to be efficient, to save energy. So when a tool comes along that does all the heavy mental lifting for us, our brain says, great, I'll take a break. But it's just like a muscle, right? If you don't use it, you lose it. And the research is starting to paint a pretty concerning picture. One study showed a direct negative link between how much you use AI and your critical thinking scores. Another one? Get this. A staggering 83% of people couldn't remember the details of something they had just co-written with an AI. And it seems even our creativity is taking a hit, with our ideas becoming more, well, similar. This homogenizing effect is the one that really gets me. A study out of the University of Toronto found that when people were exposed to AI-generated ideas, their own thinking became less original. But here's the really unsettling part. That effect stuck around even after they stopped using the AI. It's like it retrains your brain to be less creative. A Harvard study came up with the absolute perfect metaphor for this whole danger. They gave recruiters a really accurate AI to help them hire. And what happened? The recruiters basically fell asleep at the wheel. They just stopped trying, stopped using their own expertise, and let the machine make the calls, which, by the way, led to worse decisions in the end. Okay, so we're stuck with this clear conflict. AI can level up novices, but it also carries this real risk of making us lazy thinkers. The way out of this mess is to adopt a new mental model. We need to stop seeing AI as a replacement for our brain and start seeing it as a powerful instrument, an instrument that needs a skilled musician to play it well. And this brings us to this really cool idea called the knowledge paradox. You'd think that as machines get access to basically all of human knowledge, that our own expertise would become less valuable. But it's the exact opposite. The person with deep, hard-won, specialized knowledge actually becomes more powerful, not less. And here's a really simple way to understand why. Think of the formula for getting great results from AI. It's a bunch of things multiplied together: your prompting skills, your critical thinking, and so on. But a key part of that formula is your domain knowledge. And what happens in math when you multiply anything by zero? The result is always zero. Your expertise isn't just an ingredient, it's the critical multiplier. So this completely reframes our role in the workplace. We're shifting from being the executor, the person doing the grunt work, to being the orchestrator, the one who directs the AI. Our expertise becomes two things. It's a shield that helps us spot when the AI makes a mistake, and it's a compass that lets us guide the AI toward a truly valuable outcome. I absolutely love this quote because it sums up the whole shift perfectly. AI compresses execution and amplifies judgment. The AI handles the how, it does the work quickly, which frees up our minds to focus on the what and the why, the kind of critical judgment that, for now, only humans can provide. So where are we heading? Well, the story is far from over. AI is evolving again, right now, and this next phase is going to make that human orchestrator role even more critical. We are now entering the era of what's called agentic AI. And we're not talking about your simple chatbot that waits for a prompt. No, these are autonomous systems. You can give them a high-level goal, something like, plan my upcoming business trip to Tokyo, and it can go off and figure out all the steps on its own, booking flights, hotels, meetings, the whole shebang. And here's the key takeaway, and it's a bit counterintuitive. With each big step forward in automation, the cognitive demand on the human actually increases. We've gone from being simple operators just following instructions to being creators and editors of AI drafts. And now we have to become composers or governors, the ones setting the high-level strategy for these autonomous systems. But of course, there's a potential dark side to this new world. If AI allows everyone to produce incredibly high-quality work, how do you tell who has genuine talent? There's this one provocative theory called the refeudalization of merit. It suggests that we might actually go backwards and start relying on old-school status symbols, like a fancy diploma or who you know, as a shortcut to judge someone's skill. And that leaves us with this final, massive question. The big promise of AI was that it would democratize talent and give everyone a shot. But the great irony is that by making execution cheap and easy for everyone, it might make deep human expertise and the traditional ways we signal that expertise more valuable and exclusive than ever. So will AI be the great equalizer or the great divider? The fascinating thing is, the answer is probably up to us.